is how you can find your way to what am I going to do for Lent. What were you going to say, Ruth?
Rather than just stopping that, you need to replace it with something else.
There you go.
That's what I was going to say. A prayer. Or you need to think, okay, I'm thinking bad things about it, so I'm going to say a prayer for them. I'm going to try to change my behavior. I'm going to think of something else. And there's the saying that garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
You got to look at what you're listening to, what radio stations, what books are you reading, what movies are you watching.
Stop watching the news.
There's got to be some truth to that. But garbage in and garbage out. So the more, the Bible verse is, whatever's pure, whatever's good, whatever's holy, whatever's righteous, think on those things. We need to submerge ourselves in that so that when those thoughts come to us, we have to have an alternate plan. Because if we don't, then eventually that void is going to be filled again.
Exactly.
And you're going to be right back where you were.
I usually say to our Father in the Hail Mary.
There you go.
I can't get my mind off.
All right. So yeah, but see now that's kind of the connection. Maybe when it comes into your head, that's a signal to you to start praying. What were you going to say, Charlotte?
Because in a way it could be a gift. Because at those points when you become aware of it and you switch over and you choose to pray, that temptation, every time you get the temptation, it forces you to pray. What a gift that it is that you become aware of it.
And that you're acknowledging.
That you're acknowledging it. So you forced your will to be in line with God at that point, where you could have gone all hour long and not even thought about it.
Used to.
Because this came to mind, you're saying, no, I don't want to go there. You now gave yourself an opportunity to pray, where you could have gone all day without thinking about praying.
True.
These are gifts that you should use to your benefit if you switch it.
There you go.
Just acknowledge.
See that's why we miss you being here, Charlotte. Thank you. Exactly the point. You see, that when you said that, you just heard from a lot of people the same thing. There's how you change and grow closer to Christ. Every time you have that thought, go to prayer. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an Our Father or Hail Mary. Start there if that's what works for you. But sometimes it's just really, it could be just going to Christ and saying, oh my God, I am so sorry. Change me. Whatever it is. Just go to God humbly. It doesn't have to be a formal prayer. Just help me.
Yeah.
And have that conversation, a real conversation with Christ, the same way you would have a conversation with anybody in this room.
It's just easy to say to prayer.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. But take that down that path, okay? You say in Our Father and Hail Mary. Now, if you want to get more intimate with Christ, you're going to have to make the first move. Our Father is a good start. Hail Mary is a good start. But when you can have that conversation with Him, like you're sitting there over a cup of coffee with your best friend, now you're getting down to that intimate, personal relationship with Christ. Start with the Our Father, start with the Hail Mary, but then go, just come to Him. Look, I told Ruth, because of how crazy last week's session was, they know after every session that I do, I go home and I go, I'm sorry I let you down. I am sorry I didn't do as good as I should have done. I'm sorry I didn't let the Holy Spirit in. I have those conversations with Him.
And I would say I'd be on the opposite side of that because I've learned so much from these.
Yeah.
How sorry you feel. I'm grateful for what you're doing for us.
Well, thank you. Thank you. But what I was really trying to get to was the conversation.
Yeah.
I go to Him sometimes and I go, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know if I am doing what you want me to do. And I will tell you, oddly enough, not easy for me to do. I have a place in my house that's a prayer place. It's not. I wouldn't call it a chapel because it's in my living room. But I have a place where I go to pray. I cannot walk through my house more than 2 or 3 times without seeing that, and it reminds me to go to Him in prayer every time. Okay? Now, the point is sometimes, and I'm not talking about where I'm worried about, like, a health problem or a money problem, or I'm worried about one of my kids doing something bad. There are times that I just don't feel like I am connecting with Him like I should. And I have been known And if you,
I felt that,
okay, you look at this, and what I'm about to tell you is you're going to go, how did he do that? Literally, I go face down in front of him on prostrate. This is how humble I am, God. I don't know. I need you to show me, to teach me, to change me. I can't do this on my own. I can't do this without you. Paul, the Apostle Paul said, more of him, less of me. And when you're face down in front of him, that's what you're doing. You're more of him, less of me. That's what the team will tell you. That's what we do in here. It's more of him, less of us, right? This isn't about us. This is about doing his will and helping you guys get where you need to be. Has nothing to do with us. More of him, less of us. So that's what I'm saying. When you use that thought, right? That thought comes into your head and you don't want it to be there. You know that's not right. Although, here's the problem with those thoughts. Sometimes it's going, boy, it'd be fun to go down that path, wouldn't it?
Sometimes it's like almost a film. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. No, I've been there.
It's that inner whatever in you.
I have slightly out of town. It's about an hour drive. I have to go see a client in a small town around here. It takes me about an hour to get to them. And I actually end up having to go through another town where an old girlfriend lives. And I'll drive down through there and I'll think, wow, you know? A lot of things come into my head. Not all of them are good.
Better to speed through there.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, I mean, I one time, this actually happened, a little testimony. I'm thinking these thoughts and I'm going, no, I'm trying to be a good Christian. No. And they're not all the kind of thoughts you might think that they are.
I'm not thinking that.
Okay, I mean, maybe 90% of them, but not all of them. And I'm thinking, no, it's not right. And I could not get this out of my head no matter what I did. And I just went to the Blessed Mother and I said, Mother Mary, I don't want to think these thoughts. That's not right. Take them out of my head. Gone. That fast. Gone. I'm going to tell you how because, when you get down a certain thought pattern, you want to go, well, I want to spend some time here, right?
Figure it out.
Yeah. Or maybe I just kind of like reliving some memories, right? So it went out. I mean, that fast. I just said, I shouldn't be thinking these thoughts. I don't want to be thinking these thoughts. I don't want to sin against your son. Will you help me get rid of these thoughts? But, I mean, that fast, said the words, gone, gone, gone. And I thought, wow. And I kept trying to rethink those thoughts just to test it. Couldn't do it.
I kind of get that.
Okay? My point was, you got to get to that intimate personal relationship. So start with the Our Father, start with the Hail Mary, but then start going, just have a conversation with him. Let me ask you a question. Have you had, even your adult children, if you have them, you're too young. I mean, most of the women in here are too young to have adult children. Right? But even when our children...
Remember where you are.
Who you with?
And they outnumber me, so I'm going to talk that way. So, even when your adult children come to you and say, I don't know what to do.
They don't do that. I have boys.
Well,
Go ahead.
you know what, my boys will call me, and they don't say, I don't know what to do. They go, what they will do is they say, I'm kind of thinking about this.
Yep.
And then they'll go, but on the other hand, I got this. So that is boy speak for help me sort this out. Okay, right. Right. But here's my point. How does that make you feel when your children come to you and they're kind of asking you for help?
Really good.
So how much more do you think Christ wants to hear from you the same way?
Oh, yeah.
Does he love you? Do you love your children?
Sure.
And you're happy when they come to you and they want, right? Right?
Unless they're asking for money. There's time for the daughter.
Come on, don't you sometimes,
Couple of months.
you give
Oh, yeah.
them a
Don't
couple
ask
of,
me and I give it away and it's like, darn it.
well, I've been known to do that too. And it's interesting, actually one time, I did, and my daughter-in-law could not wait to pay me back. She got the money in to pay me back, and it was a considerable amount of money. So I was kind of surprised that I was even gonna see any of it, but yeah. I mean, yeah, I just don't put,
Right.
but she was saying, "Are you busy today?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm booked, I can't." She goes, "Well, when can I see you?" I said, "Well, I mean, unless it's something urgent, like, somebody's dying in the family." This is like Wednesday. I said, "Friday?" She goes, "Oh, well, I'll just stop by when you're going to be home." I mean, she would not. I mean, I'm getting 5 texts a day. When are you going to be home? When are you going to be around? I figured out after the 3rd text what she wanted. She wanted to pay me back, and she wanted to do it in person because she was proud of herself for paying. That they were able to pay me back. I'm excited for you that you're excited to pay me back. But I still got to make a living, and I still got other things to do. Moral of the story is, how much more does God get excited when you come to him and say,
Yeah.
right? When you're letting him in. Oh, he already knows what the problem is.
Yeah.
Actually, he already not only knows what the problem is, he already knows how you're going to resolve it. Okay? It's not the point. Even if your child comes to you and wants your help, wants you to be part of their life, right? Even though you know the answer is pretty obvious and they're going to come to that on their own, it's still the fact that they're drawing you into their life.
Yeah.
That they still want you to be a part of their life.
Yeah, like
How much more does God want that with you? He didn't die on the cross just to give you a way to save yourself from, or save you from sin, give yourself a path to salvation. He died saying, this is how much I love you. This is how much I want to be in your life. There is nothing so small in your life, even if you think it's small, that he doesn't care about. We got Macy over here. I'm sure at her age,
She doesn't like fish.
I know. I'm sure at her age, she brings up a lot of things to you two that from your perspective as adults, you're going, what? Right? But they're a big deal to her.
Yeah.
God does the same thing. God could be looking at your thing and going, what? Easy. But to us, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And sometimes we gotta go through those things.
Yes, we do. But the moral of the story is he wants to be part. He loves it when you come to him and say, God, I don't know what to do. God, I want you to be a part. Help me, whatever. He loves it that you think so much of him that you will draw him in.
And I do forget about that relationship back to me instead of me just going to him.
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought about
He
that.
wants that. Do you ever get tired of your kids coming to you? I mean, we can complain. All right,
There
here.
have been times.
Yeah, well, I mean, you go, really? I just gave you $200 last week. What do you need this for? Right?
Well, I haven't had that, but.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the moral of this, again, the point is the fact that they still think enough of you to come to you.
Exactly.
Not use you. There's a difference.
Yeah.
But that they're coming to you, not just like for money or whatever, just, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make this decision.
Yeah. Like Steve, like I told you last night, I was looking at this again. I come out of Mass and I'm going to the store, and I see this text from my son who's super independent. All it says is, in the ER with Shelley, all is good. Who sends out a text like that? In the emergency room with Shelley, all is good. What do you mean all is good? You're in the emergency. But that's a signal. When I get that signal, I know I need to call him. Because he's not going to come out and say, Mom,
Yeah.
can you get up here, blah, blah, blah.
How good is it when the first thing they think about is to call mom or dad?
Exactly. But yeah, when I get that yesterday, I'm going, in the ER, all is good. Oh, okay.
So this is our time to understand what it is that we need to do to get closer to God, and then build what we give up or do during Lent around that. So like in your case, if that's your issue, it may be, can I spend more time in prayer? Right? And prayer is one of those things. I'd like to tell you it's like jogging, but I have no idea what that's like. But when you start, it's really, really hard. But the more you do it, the better you get at it, the more comfortable you are with that. That's prayer. And so if that's your thing, to just say, you know what I'm going to do during Lent? I'm going to find an hour out of every day. Adoration, or it's hard to find true adoration, but you can always come into the church and spend time in front of the tabernacle. But just an hour a day, I'm going to focus on having a conversation with God. You start off with those tried and true prayers that we know. You know, when both of my daughter-in-laws came into the church, I bought them prayer books. I don't think they've touched them since they've been in the church. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Just guess.
But, you know, I keep trying to tell them, when you go through tough times, you know what I do? I have a couple of prayer books. And if I don't know what to say, it used to be this way. I'm getting better at it. It used to be, if I didn't know what to say or what I would flip through the prayer book and find the prayers that were saying what I wanted to say. You know, it's kind of like, you know, when it's somebody's birthday, you go to the card store, Hallmark knows what to say.
Yeah.
Right?
In a million different ways.
Yeah. Well, that's what prayer is, right? That written out prayer is, that's your Hallmark card. I don't know what to say. Here it is.
La Dante.
Does that too. Go through your prayers there.
You
But
can search things on there.
Right, but you start there, and as you start working through those prayers, then you get more comfortable in that conversation with Christ, and then you start having those, oh God, I don't know what to do. Or, oh God, thank you for today. Oh God, I know that was you. I know that was you. Whatever it was good that has happened, I know that was you. Right? You start having conversations with him like I would have with Michelle, right? Michelle, way to go. Thanks for driving the other day. You know, thanks, God. Thanks for making sure that the car was running, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you start having those conversations. So the point is, we are trying to strengthen our relationship with Christ. That's the point of Lent. It's the point of putting ourselves, making it a priority every day to get closer to Christ, to making Christ more the center of our relationship. And we do that by a penitential act. Giving up something, doing something extra. Because, again, that reminds us that this is where we're supposed to be. Right? We're supposed to be in front of God. We're supposed to be talking to him. We're supposed to be building that relationship. How long does Lent last?
40 days.
Does it?
Doesn't it?
Count them. Count the days. If you count the days from Wednesday, the 26th, Ash Wednesday, Lent will be over April, what? Easter's what, 6th?
12.
Easter's April 12th? So, I've got to look at the calendar. It's on your syllabus.
46. That's 46.
Holy cow.
What?
Is it 40 days? It is more than 40.
47.
47 days. What day is Easter?
12.
The 12th. So Easter actually stops, though, on the 9th, 10th. Whatever that Thursday is. It ends on Holy Thursday.
Oh, okay. So
Holy Thursday is on the,
9th.
Okay. So how many days is that?
that's 4.
Huh?
That's 4. 9, 10, 11, 12.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Okay,
so it's about 42, 43 days.
43 days.
Right.
Sorry.
It is 40 days. Lent is 40 days. How come we have 42 or 43 days there? Because we don't count Ash Wednesday, we don't count
Okay.
Good Friday.
And it's a leap year.
Well, we wouldn't count Good Friday anyway, because that happens after Lent is over. Lent ends Holy Thursday.
I said it's a leap year.
Yeah, but it don't matter.
Extra day.
The leap year doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, it would, okay.
We have 29 days in February,
Okay.
28.
Still another
But
day.
still, even under normal
I
circumstances,
learned something in school.
even under circumstances, it is never literally 40 days. They don't include those, like Ash Wednesday and that kind of thing, okay? But yeah, so it is 40 days. Let's just call it 40 days.
Because of 40 days and 40 nights.
40 nights, that's right.
Been in the-
Right, right. And we know why we're celebrating Easter, because that's when Christ rose from the dead, right? So that's our goal, is to spend this 40 days like Christ spent the 40 days in the desert, being tempted by the devil, right? So at the end of this 40 days, we're to come out a new person, risen in Christ, because of whatever it was we did for that 40 days. So what do we do? What can we do to strengthen our relationship besides giving up chocolate, giving up soda or whatever it is? What other things can we be doing? We talked about one, right? If my problem is I have bad thoughts, then the answer is go to prayer. The minute that bad thought hits my head, I'm going to prayer. And maybe if I keep doing that, I'm going to spend longer in prayer, and it becomes part of my life that I can't go through a day without going to Christ in prayer. Going to Christ not just in a formal prayer, in a very formal, standoffish way, but we get to the point where we are going to Christ and saying, "Oh, Sue, I am so sorry I had such a bad day." Same way I would talk to Sue, I'm able to talk to Christ, because nobody loves me more than Christ, right?
And I have an ordained chaplain that I say every night before I go to bed that a very nice lady in this room gave me. And a couple weeks ago I got ready, and I'm up anywhere from 4:30 to 5:30 in the morning, not by choice, because I have a 4-legged child, and one of two that has to potty. Anyway, it was like 9:30, and I was exhausted, and I always sit on the edge of the bed, and I say it every night. And I was so tired, and I looked over and saw it laying there, and I thought, oh, not tonight. I just want to go to sleep. And then I thought, if you are this tired, that you can't take 3 minutes, it takes 3 minutes maybe to do that. I probably need that prayer more tonight than I did last night, or that I will tomorrow. And I thought, if you can't give 3 minutes, you've got a real problem. So I picked it up. And I think lots of times we think, I'm just too tired, I'll do it later. I'm too busy, I'll do it later. That's when you need it the most.
I would agree with that, and I do the same thing. There are some nights, last night would be a prime example. We had a party for the kids, and then I went to my mom's, and then, she was at the party, but she still had everybody over afterwards, because that's her thing. Come to the house, right? And I got home at a decent time, and I thought I'm going to get to bed early. And then I started looking over my notes for today, and the next thing I know, it's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm going, okay. And then I got up this morning because my alarm clock is broke. I didn't know that, but I found out this morning when I woke up. I was supposed to be here at 8 o'clock, and I woke up at 7:40. It'd be hard to do, yeah. So, ordering a new alarm clock, that's what I'm doing for Lent. But anyway, I've lost my train of thought. Oh, that's a lot of nights I will go to bed and I'll think, I'm too tired. God, you know what I need. You know what I'm thinking about. I love you. Good night.
Last night.
And I think God is okay with that sometimes. But when I think about being tired, how tired was he walking through?
Exactly.
Right? Is that still? Are you keeping it on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We were at trivia last night.
Catching every
We
breath.
got home and sat for a while, and all of a sudden I looked at the clock and I went, I'm not laying. It is 11:45. And I looked at Michael and said, I gotta go to bed. somebody's gonna wake me at 5. No, he won't, it's late. I said, the dog's asleep, I'm not. He'll wake me. And that was one of those nights again that I thought,